Only focusing on ROAS in your marketing strategy is a very common thing. I see a lot of advertisers do this, even intermediate and pretty advanced marketers. They talk a lot about just ROAS, which is return on ad spend. The problem is that this metric, by only focusing on this metric, it can hurt your business a lot. You can miss out on great opportunities, and you can in cases also lose a lot of potential profit. So in this video, I'm going to break down why ROAS is a dangerous direction to go if you're solely focusing on that to optimize your ads and making your decisions when it comes to your online advertising. So I'm making this video totally for free for you guys, and I have nothing to sell you. My only ask is if you're doing more than 10K per month and you want us to help you scale to 100K and beyond, you can book a call with me with the link in the description of this video, and we can see if we're a good fit. So let's get into it. So why a ROAS focused strategy is not the best for your profit. So the main key here is that we're talking about profit. Now ROAS basically just means the total amount of revenue divided by the ad spend. So it shows you how much you make per dollar spent on ads. Now that in many cases will equally equate to how much profit you make, but it's not a direct relationship between ROAS and profit. So that's what I'm going to break down. I'm going to show you how to avoid the mistakes that a lot of people make, and it can actually hurt your business a lot. So make sure you watch the video all the way through. So focusing on first purchase ROAS might be hindering your growth. So you might be losing out on a lot of potential growth by doing this. So to make you understand why focusing on first purchase ROAS might actually be hindering your growth, I'm going to show you two very simple examples here. So we have two scenarios, as you can see on my screen. For scenario A, we have a fixed cost of $1,000. So for this business, every month they have to pay $1,000 in whatever software or something that's fixed every month. And they have average order value of $100. So on average, every customer in their store for their first purchase spend $100. After 60 days, that value increases on average to 170. So some of these customers are going to come back. So the 60-day LTV average is 170 bucks. So as you can see, for this example, we have a ROAS of 2. So for every dollar that this business spends on advertising, they get $2 back in sales. So here they spend 5K in ads, they get a revenue of 10K. Then they have a gross margin of 60%. Basically, the contribution margin in this example for day one is going to be $1,000. And the contribution margin is not profit because we're not considering the fixed cost, but it's basically profit before we take away the fixed cost. So as you can see, the contribution margin is $1,000, but when we take away the $1,000 fixed cost, the profit is 0 on day one. So in this example, as you can see, we're making 0 profit on day one. But what happens after 60 days is that a lot of these customers that we generated in this period, they come back and make more purchases, but they come back without us needing to spend more money on these same customers because they already did an order with our store, so they know where to find it, they know that they like the product, so they come back organically. So over 60 days, the contribution margin increases to $5,200, and as you can see, the profit is actually $4,200. So as you can see already in this example here, for maybe a lot of business owners, seeing that they made no money, they had a break even in that month, is going to make them feel like, okay, this is not working for us. For a lot of businesses that don't look at the lifetime value, it can get them pretty lost, because in this scenario, obviously, it would make sense to spend more if they have the ability to wait 60 days to realize that value that they're gonna realize from these customers that they generated in this period. So in another scenario, it's the same business, but we have a lower ROAS. So we've scaled the ad spend to 30,000 per month. So for this month, we spent 30,000 on ads. And when we spend more on ads, it's actually a very common and natural phenomenon that the ROAS is decreasing. So as you see, we went from 2 to 1.7 in ROAS. For a lot of people, seeing that the ROAS is declining is something that they associate with something negative. But as I'm going to show you in this example, it's actually not a negative thing at all. So they spend 30K on ads, the revenue is 54K, margin is the same. The contribution margin for day one is only 600 bucks. So as you can see here, only 600 bucks. So when we then take away the fixed cost, we're in negative 400 on the first day. Now this might seem crazy to a lot of people. When you spend that much and you're negative, like your profit on day one is negative, that might make you think that, okay, I can't spend this much on ads. And then you take down the spend and you don't realize any more growth potential that you might have. But as you can see, after 60 days, the value, the contribution margin increases to $22,000. And then you take away the fixed cost and the profit is still amazing, way better than before, where we have $21,000 in profit. So the main thing to take away from this is that lower ROAS and higher spend can become more profit, and profit is always what we care about. So don't look solely at ROAS as a metric. So why is this important? So the first thing is, if you actually have scalability and you have the ability to wait 60 days before you need to realize that value that you will get from those acquired customers, in that case, not scaling just because day one profitability is negative could mean you're missing out on a big opportunity, as you saw in this example. Another thing that's very important to take into consideration is that the CPM costs are continually rising on Facebook and Instagram and most other platforms as well. So CPM cost is basically just cost per 1,000 impressions on these platforms. So it's basically just a metric for how expensive it is for you to advertise on these platforms. So as these costs are rising, this opportunity that you might have but you don't really know yet because you don't really take into consideration the other purchases that happen after the first one, so you don't consider the lifetime value of the customers, that might mean that you're going to lose out on this opportunity when the CPM costs get too high. And the last thing is that if you can figure out that you can actually spend more and you're going to be profitable after 60 or 30 or 90 days, that means you will be able to have a higher bid than a lot of your competition when it comes to the bid auction. That's how it works on these social platforms. You're bidding to place your ads in front of different people, and it's not just you bidding on this, it's a lot of different businesses. Your competitors are also going to try to get their ads in front of these people. So if you know that you can spend more to acquire a customer, that means that you can outbid your competition, win more market share, and ultimately grow your business faster than your competitors. So now I'm going to show you a scenario where this plays into more of the micro level, where we're actually inside a Facebook Ads Manager and we manage campaigns. Because I see that a lot of beginner and intermediate advertisers, they actually go into their ads and then they only look at ROAS or cost per purchase. Now, the reason why that's a big issue is if, for example, you turn off an ad that's generally your best ad, it's actually your best performing ad, but it has a lower ROAS and a higher cost per purchase than some of your other ads. So because you see that, you turn off this ad because you want Facebook to spend more on these other ads that have a better ROAS and a lower cost per purchase. Now, the problem here is that the reason why that ad, that is the best performing one, actually has a lower ROAS and a higher cost per purchase is because Facebook prioritized most spend for this ad. So this ad has the most real results. So it's the real results that you will get when you push the ad with more spend. Now, for this ad, you know the real results when it gets volume of spend. For these other ads, you see a better ROAS and you see a better cost per purchase, but you don't know if that's going to continue to be that way when you push more spend to these ads and ad sets. So as an example here, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So as you can see here in this green square, we have one ad here where it's only 2 purchases or 2 leads. So this is a leads campaign. And you can see the cost per result or the cost per lead is lower than the other ads above here. So for some advertisers, it might make sense to turn off the other ads and just run with this one and hope that the results stay the same in terms of cost per lead. Now, the exact same principle here goes for cost per purchase or cost per conversion, whatever event you're optimizing for. And you don't want to do this because there's a reason why Facebook spent most on the other ads. It's because their optimization strategy is prioritizing this ad, and the algorithm is very smart and powerful. So every time we see that our client starts to turn off the best performing ad, that has maybe a lower ROAS and a higher cost per purchase, but they want to push more spend to the other ads, we see that they're not the results are not near as good when you push more spend into them. So in this scenario right here, as I'm showing you on the screen, do not turn off the best performing ad with the most spend, okay? Make sure you just keep all of these ads on, as I've done in this example right here. And over time, if Facebook thinks these other ads are going to perform better than the other ones, you will see them putting more spend on these ads. So be patient, just let them sit there. You don't need to do anything with them. Facebook is not spending a lot of money on them anyways, so it doesn't hurt by having them there, and the results are, you know, better. The ROAS and cost per purchase is better. So just let them sit there, and if Facebook thinks it's a good idea to, you know, allocate more spend to these ads, then they will do so. So if you like this video and you get some value out of it, I will highly appreciate it if you leave a like and maybe even leave a comment down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe for future videos. I also have a link in the description to join my free Facebook group where you have access to me, so you can post any questions in the group at any time, and I will personally answer them in as much detail as possible and help you out. So make sure you join that, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.